What's up, guys? Chasing Lonely here for episode number 29 of our Williams Revival here on F1 Manager 22. We are in the 2023 season. We're about to go to Singapore. We have an 18-day break until the race, though, so we've got a lot to fly through, including the new stuff coming in. We've, of course, looked at all the mail for today in the last episode, so, you know, we got no cost cap rise, which was a shame. We did get a new chassis, and we're already building that one. We shouldn't have anything else coming through today or in this episode, I don't think, design-wise. So we're going to keep going forward, see what happens, see if we can get some more sponsorship money in, because we do need to be making some new designs, some new facility upgrades, some new everything, really. So we are just hoping to get all of the right parts on the car, get ourselves in a good position for a good result at Marina Bay, upgrade our CFD simulator. That's going to help us to make better parts, get ourselves a little bit faster. I don't comprehend, I understand what these numbers mean, but we've improved our drag reduction, our airflow, and a bunch of low-speed stuff to make the car a little bit faster with all the new parts that are going to come through. So, hopefully, we're going to be in a good position to... My alarm goes off to remind me the race is about to start in real life. Good stuff. Okay, so that's going to get me demonetized. Great stuff. I'm probably silenced. It's fine. It's okay. We'll get through it. Right, so suspension. We've got low numbers of our suspension. Good job telling me that a week before the race when I'm going to need that. Right, let's get some of those built if we can. I don't know if we actually have any parts to... Can we do... Why am I in development? I'm looking to build. Right, manufacture. Make sure we're in the right one. New suspension. Right, you need to build some new suspension, so we'll do that. Get ourselves... We can literally afford to build one. It will come before the race, though, so that'll at least keep us going through the race weekend. Hopefully I'll emergency manufacture if I have to, but we won't worry too much about that. Anything else in there we need to talk about? Just a low stock of suspensions. Good. Okay, well, one more should take away that warning at least. We're also low on rear wings, which I've just noticed, but I don't... Oh, I do have some money. I just got some money through. Stop. Give me money. Right, let's spend the money, because I just saw that pop in, and we're going to need to spend that on building some rear wings, because I've just spotted that we only have 2, and we're going to want more than 2. That's just life. Right, 3 days we can get one of those in. That's fine. But let's rush it, just so we can see if we can get a couple more over the race weekend. And we'll put one more in the bank, just in case we have some big smashies, because we know what Oscar Piastri can be like with his driving sometimes. Right, okay, so we've got some more money. Let's just do a check-in on everything. Car development report. We're still doing okay. We should be in a good position. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, because I know we've built those new chassis, let's put those on the car, see how that improves things, because that's going to be the big question for us for this race. So that takes us from 15. Oh, it's not going to be a massive or any massive improvement on the car, but I think it will help a little bit. It'll get us a bit more speed, a bit more power in the bank. That should be fine. Apparently, changing to that drops us down. I don't understand how that works. It's fine. Right, we're going to keep going forward. It'll be absolutely okay. Nothing bad can happen from here on out. What can we spend this money on? Can we spend this money on anything? I do wonder if it's worth bringing over Valtteri Bottas' engineer. I don't know what that relationship is looking like at the moment. Let's have a little look. I mean, he's only been with them a little while. Low affinity. I mean, who would have been Bottas's guy at Aston Martin? Trying to tell me that. Right, let's find out. Who would have been his guy at Alfa Romeo? Because that's going to be a very important thing for us to check out, just in case we can improve our chances. It's going to be overall rating, isn't it? Aston Martin, go all the way down. Lots of better engineers, race engineers in F2 right now than there are in F1. That's a little bit concerning, isn't it? I don't know how that's happened. We'll keep an eye on that. With lots of people not filter applied. That's why. Excellent. Let's try that without that, and then we can see who the guys are at Alfa Romeo. Right, we're going to be going for Bjorn Becker. I don't know which car he was on. Does he have a relationship with any drivers? Doesn't even say which car he's currently on, which doesn't help me much. I don't know who his race engineer is in real life, so that's not going to help me at all. So I think it's Gaetan Diego, but I'm not confident enough to make that decision. I was going to look see if James Vowles is an option actually, but I don't think he is an option to hire, which is a bit sad. he's hiding. Because, I thought it'd be nice to have a Valtteri it's James moment, and we can't really make that happen. I don't think he's actually in the game, is he? He's not. Okay, that's sad. Alright, anyway, let's carry on forward while I'm rambling, because otherwise this will be another stupidly long episode. Manufacturing complete on all those parts. New suspension complete. I think it's just me building extra parts for what we had. Well, that was the part we started today. Good stuff. I know what I was doing. Right, we've got ourselves another one of those parts. We'll stick with 4 for now. It should be fine. We've got the money in the bank. Get ready for our race prep for Singapore. I was looking at the car performance for Singapore before I started doing the recording for this episode. We're good on medium speed corners. We've got that 6th and 11th for... That's actually gone down as I looked. So someone's made some developments. Either way, we're... I think we can get ourselves into the top 10 for sure. So we're going to do that. We're going to guarantee ourselves at least one car in Q2. We'll guarantee both cars in... Sorry, one car in Q3. We'll guarantee both cars in Q2 because I know we can do that. Finish position wants to do 14th. I'm going to go for another fastest lap because I feel like that's a thing we can pull off. And hopefully we'll have a good race this weekend. So without any further ado, I'm going to see you guys on the other side of qualifying. So we've got through qualifying, and a bit of a mixed bag for us, really. We'll go through the results of qualifying. Max Verstappen takes pole, but he has got a grid penalty. Charles Leclerc in second, also with a grid penalty. Hamilton, Perez, and Sainz and Bottas make up the next 2 rows. So Hamilton and Perez on the front row. Sainz and Bottas should start on the second row, depending on those grid penalties. I think Verstappen might drop in ahead of us, maybe Leclerc as well. I'm not entirely sure on the maths on that. Lando Norris in 7th, Russell in 8th, Gasly in 9th, Ricciardo in 10th. Ocon starts 11th, Alonso in 12th, Magnussen 13th, Schumacher 14th, Piastri qualifies 15th. It is worth pointing out he crashed in Q1 and I couldn't get his car rebuilt, but he had done enough to get himself into Q2, so hopefully we'll still get the financial bonus for the Q2. Vettel starts in 16th, Tsunoda starts 17th, Zhou Guanyu starts 18th, Lance Stroll 19th, and Alex Albon in 20th. So we've done okay, I think.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Qualifying went well for Williams, as attested by their strong position on the grid. Now it's all about finding that edge for the race itself. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the clouds today look very ominous, which means that teams may have to contend with rain at some point during the race.
Well, we've got some fascinating strategies that are sure to be applied today. But for now, all eyes shift to the starting line of the Singapore Grand Prix.
So we do have to make some strategy calls today. It's going to be an interesting one because I started making strategy calls actually during quali. The first one I'm going to make is because there's no real difference between being 15th and being 20th. I thought I would just go with a brand new set of parts for Oscar, just give him the freshest engines and stuff to get him towards the end of the season because we are starting to wear out. So we're just going to chuck some money away really at getting some new ERS, some new engine, some new gearbox into the car, just because I do want to give him the best chance of a good result, and I think giving him the best chance of a good result from 20th, we should side through the cars ahead of us, is going to be a really good plan. In terms of fuel, we are going to go heavy on the fuel, and we are going to go for full usage of that fuel and the overtake. Strategy-wise with Oscar, soft mediums is probably the better of the strategies, but what I'm going to do, it says to go soft hards, and though my brain is saying that's a great idea, we're looking at a window of around lap 17, lap 15 for a soft hards, but I am thinking, do we play the odds on a safety car, go mediums to softs, which should be something we can make work. There is a little bit of wiggle room there as well to get some more time off that, I'm sure, by bringing that pit stop down quite a lot, to be honest. We can pit almost any time up to, lap 29 and still gain time. So that's not a big loss for us. I think we can get away with doing that. And I said, we'll be able to get way more than half distance on a set of softs if we need to. So we're going to start on the mediums. We can always switch to the hards if we do get an early safety car and it looks like a good strategy. We're going to go from the mediums to the softs for Oscar. I did make a strategy call with Bottas actually in qualifying, in that I saved a brand new set of soft tyres for the race because I didn't think we would need the extra tyres to get through to qualifying, or get through qualifying. I was quite right, because we are going to start 5th on the grid, which is going to be very nice for us. So we're going to get him set up to just kind of go for it. We're going to start on the softs with Valtteri, knowing we can go quite long into the race if we need to, and we can realistically stay on those softs as long as we need to and go to a set of mediums to the end anytime we like. And again, there is that wiggle room to shave down that time by as much as 25 seconds for the race distance. So again, you can get to half distance quite easily on a set of softs. It's not a problem either way. So we're going to do that. And in fact, if we do get an early safety car, what I might find myself doing is just doing a cheeky chain, a double chain for Piastri onto a set of softs and softs to go to the end, because you should have enough sets of softs free that I can just go essentially run a medium to the first safety car. In fact, now I'm thinking that through, does that make sense? Probably not. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with that strategy. We're going to go with this for now and see how it shakes out, because there will be a safety car. There's always a safety car in Singapore. So we're going to presume there'll be one. We're going to take the engine penalties we agreed, because we're going to have to. I could have taken some for Valtteri, but he's got good enough pass to get himself into a good position. We're not going to pit until we absolutely have to, so we'll be fine. Let's see what we can do. Let's go to the grid.
There's a very overcast night in store for the drivers, who are now lined up on the grid. There's Valtteri Bottas. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And looking at the second Williams car, they're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. The race start is mere seconds away. We're just moments away from the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So we're away in Singapore then for the Singapore Grand Prix. We're going to jump on board with Oscar Piastri, because I do feel like he's going to make some big passes very soon. They keep talking about this threat of rain, the overcast, but I don't see it coming on the weather report. So we're not going to take too much stock in that. Bottas has dropped the position to Lando Norris already, but Piastri, looking for a move around Albon straight away, should get past Stroll and show very quickly as well. I know this is not an overtaking track. As I say, that we'll have a look at the Norris overtake. I think it would have just been a quick one into the second turn. There we go, third turn even, and we've lost that position. We'll get it back. I've got faith we can outpace Lando. I do think we've probably got a tyre advantage on Lando as well, because we saved those softs, but we'll have a little check to see how that looks. We don't see the garage. We know there's plenty of race left to run. So look at the tyre situation. Everyone else is running on softs. I've done a lap in qualifying down to 11th. So except Leclerc, actually. Except Charles Leclerc. We're going to be okay though. I think we should be fine. Piastri's got past Alex Albon. That's absolutely fine. Hopefully we'll start making some big passes very soon for Piastri as well. Like I said, he's on the medium, so going long, running a bit of a long strategy here, but he's got the pace to move through the field as things go along. Let's go back to Valtteri, because there'll be more exciting things happening for Valtteri, you'd think. He's got to get himself very soon into the top 5 again, you'd have to assume. I cannot imagine the McLaren have brought upgrades that are going to get them that significantly up the field. Piastri working his way up will be an inevitability, you'd have to think. It might take him a little while, because overtaking is so very difficult at Singapore. But I think everyone else, as I said, is pretty much going out on soft. So it's him, Tsunoda and Albon on mediums. Being able to stop late could be an advantage. It's all very much a split the strategy, roll of the dice on when does a safety car appear and what do you do in reaction to that safety car, because the mediums will go up 40 odd laps, so I'm really in the window from about lap 14, 15, you're in the safety car window, so everything to play for. We could have pushed these tyres a bit harder, we've chosen not to. Piastri, I think, is probably using more overtake than I'd like him to use, but that's life at this stage in the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, we're on board with Valtteri Bottas. We'll speed things up. He should get this overtake done here on Lando, and does. Beautiful stuff, makes it stick. Everyone is happy. The offboard was weird and double speed. And we're back up onto the back of Carlos Sainz. And I do think we can get some good positions here from Carlos Sainz. Look at this overtake from the offboard as well in proper regular time. Good move by Valtteri. He's been very impressive since joining the team. Jumped in the car, took a podium in his first race, and he could quite easily hunt down a podium here if everything falls at the right time for him in terms of the almost inevitable safety car, in terms of the pit stops, in terms of the undercut, overcut situation. There are very much a lot of opportunities for Valtteri to make some big inroads here as Piastri gets past Lance Stroll. Let's go take a look at that, see how he's managed to pull that one off. Exactly the same place. Good dive up the inside. Keeps it clean. Gets himself onto the back of Alex. That one was like Guan Yu Show. I'm not sure which of the Astons is now in front of us. Doesn't really matter because the Astons are definitely slow. The only matter of time until Stroll passes them and moves on with his life, it's got to be said. So expect the Astons to drop away. It's Guan Yu Show ahead of Piastri. Meanwhile, Bottas is closing on the Ferrari very quickly, I say. I don't know if we're all being held up a little bit by Hamilton, because really there is no business for that car to be. There's been a crash on the track in sector 3. Virtual safety car is out, and has he gone past the pit? He's already gone past it, hasn't he? Piastri? No, he's not past it. Okay. Big gamble, maybe? Big gamble? I mean, the hards will go all the way to the end quite easily, but not having to pit again could be a big winner. I think we're going to take this chance to get onto a set of hards to the end. We can always go on a set of softs later if we get another safety car opportunity, but I figure let's take the gamble, let's risk it, let's come in, do our thing. We've got there just in time. So when you show having the crash, let's see what's happened there. Is he out of the race? It's an unusual place to crash if it's beyond the bridge. He's just lost the back end. He has kept going, but he's got to be coming in as well. That rear wing's got to have taken a bit of a kicking from that. But we're going to come in. We're going to take the pit stop with Piastri. We should be in a good position to get ourselves under the VSC to the end of the race now without needing any pit stops. And this could be a bit of a blessing for Piastri. We've not really lost anything by doing this. I know I've said that, we're under VSC, let's save some everything while I think about it, because the longer we can keep these softs going, the better. We're going to be okay. I don't think the VSC is going to be out very long. There's only going to be very few bits of car need picking up as we do a 2.6 pit stop for Piastri, get ourselves hopefully up behind the rest of the team, the rest of the cars very quickly. I mean, we have lost time because they're going round at regular car pace, but that's life. Let's just keep the harvest on. We'll keep going until the virtual safety car comes in. We're not going to catch up necessarily, obviously, because of the delta, but I do think this will save us time. I mean, we're plus 22 seconds, so the VSC not quite as good as a regular safety car for us because of the bunching, but either way, we're going to make that work. We're going to go back to standard now because we're on it. Like I said, those tyres will go all the way to as far as they need to, quite frankly, off the restart. Go back to standard, but now I've realised we're on the attack fuel. Let's keep things going. Let's see how things go when the VSC ends. Bottas. Alexa, shut up. I don't know why Alexa thought she needed to interrupt, but there we go. Good stuff all around. It's been a wonderful day for interruptions today, and we are doing okay though. We're doing fine. Valtteri Bottas should, now we're back underway. Now the VSC has gone, we'll be fine. Piastri is going to start catching up with Guan Yu Zhou fairly quickly, get on the back of Guan Yu Zhou, and he'll have to do all those moves again, but I do think they put him in a slightly better position than he was at the start of the Grand Prix to get to the end, no stops needed. Once he's on the back of Guan Yu Zhou, everyone's going to come in for their regularly scheduled pit stops, and Piastri is just going to toddle along to the end, or at least until the next safety car, and have himself a very, very good time, which is what we're looking for. Right, Valtteri Bottas is now trying to chase down Carlos Sainz, who somehow has been dropped by Leclerc under the safety car. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. There wasn't that gap before, I'm sure there wasn't. Unfortunately, nowhere to check. It was very, very close going into that turn there. Very close to a disaster happening, but we're in the most dangerous part of the track now. Got to keep it on. Good stuff. Valtteri Bottas going for it. Absolutely going for it, in fact. And we're just going to try and follow Sainz through. We're not going to push too hard on the ERS at this point. No real point. We can save it for the right time in the race when we're a little bit closer. Once we pass Sainz, I think we're going to go for a full deploy is kind of my plan, and try and get to the back of Leclerc as fast as we can. As Perez has taken the lead up top from Hamilton, they're still battling. They're close enough to still be battling at least. We're just trying to get to Sainz. Sainz is not catching up to Leclerc. Sainz, in fact, looks like he's trying to back us off of Leclerc, which is not really very sporting or what we were looking for. Another DRS chance though. Can we get it through these corners? We are going to get it. We've taken it. And now let's go full deploy on Valtteri Bottas. Have a quick check behind us, make sure we're not being challenged too much by the Ferrari. Should be gone. Carlos Sainz should be ditched for now, and we're going to try using our ERS to catch ourselves back up. We've taken the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Good stuff as we come under the bridge into turn 1 and start hopefully pushing our way back up to Charles Leclerc and back into contention, hopefully, for a podium, if not a race win here. We did take a race win in Singapore last year. That was Oscar Piastri, actually the reigning champion of Singapore. So hopefully his strategy is going to play off and bring him into play towards the end of the race. It was a bold gamble going onto the hards to the end because it is a lot slower than the mediums will be round here. But I do think saving us having to make an extra pit stop could be a benefit. If he can get himself up the field once people make the mandatory pit stops, we get a late safety car to bring us in for some softs. We could be laughing on this one. It's all very much down to luck of the draw of the safety car at this stage. As Bottas is going to cross the line, he's going to have to go down to neutral because he's run out of battery. But we have pulled ourselves into the DRS range of Charles Leclerc. We're back in the race and into the hunt for the race lead, which is very, very good. That's a good place for us to be, a good place for Valtteri Bottas to be, certainly. Like I said, he's got a tyre advantage over most of the cars ahead of him. Leclerc, not so much, but Hamilton and Perez should have to come in before Bottas does, and we're very much kind of playing that one out by ear in terms of how it's going to go. We're not going to push Bottas too hard. We shouldn't need to push Bottas too hard. We should be able to keep up, keep them honest, and hopefully get ourselves towards the end of the Grand Prix in a good position on strategy here. Like I said, safety cars will make all the difference in this race, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to stay on the back. We're staying on the back here. We are doing well, keeping up with Leclerc. He's not really dropping us in the DRS, which is good. We're just going to keep keeping them honest, really, through these corners. It's only the slow corners where we're going to lose time massively to the Ferrari, I would think. But otherwise, we're pretty good. We're going to come across for another DRS zone here. Hopefully, we'll be in a good position to get closer, ever closer, coming into the chicanes. We've done okay there. We're not embarrassing ourselves. That's what's important. I can push a little bit on the tyres. It's not a strategic problem if I decide to push on the tyres. It will bring us in a little bit earlier, but not a lot earlier. So I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing fine. We're just, like I said, staying with the leaders is the key at this point. We're very close again into a tight corner, and DRS opens. Can we pull in closer? Take another Ferrari? Not quite, but we are having a sniff now. We're distracting Leclerc from trying to catch Perez by making him defend, which ultimately was kind of the point of what we were trying to do strategy-wise, is make Leclerc defend, because if we can make him defend, he'll drop back from Perez, he'll lose the DRS just long enough, hopefully, for us to jump ahead of him, get ourselves in the DRS, start pulling ourselves away. That's going to be the plan. and I don't know if it will pay off, but bold gambles are what we're here for, and bold gambles are what we're going to do. So we'll make the best of it. That's kind of our thing, making the best of this track, of this Grand Prix in Singapore. I do think we can get another podium, if not another win here. It does feel possible. I do feel like I've got the measure of Singapore a little bit more than some of the tracks on the calendar. And Bottas, he's dropping a little bit, so we're going to have to push the tyres, just get him back closer to Leclerc, give him that little bit of extra something, a little bit of extra impetus to push into the corners and get himself onto the back of Charles. It's not the worst thing in the world if we do that, and there could be good things coming. As I said, we're going to push Valtteri as far as we can. We'll keep an eye on the tyre situation because we are going to lose tyres to Leclerc. We're going to force ourselves to undercut him a little bit by doing this. But if we can get ourselves ahead of him, then I think it'll all be worthwhile, and we'll be pretty safe, I would say, at that point, in most eventualities on the podium. So, Bottas defending is always good. I think Bottas a little bit to prove. Hamilton leading is something he's used to seeing. Used to having to chase down a leading Lewis in a Mercedes. It's not foreign territory to him, that's for sure. But also, he's doing his Valtteri Bottas thing. He's just keeping Leclerc honest through a couple of laps. That will do him no harm whatsoever. I think what we're going to do is probably drop him down in a second to look after his tyres. Once we've dropped Carlos Sainz, which we should do fairly soon, I think we're probably going to drop him down into more neutral tyre usage. We're going to just try and ride this one out as far as it takes for either a safety car or for the pit window the real pit window, not the one we've actually agreed with our strategists to work its way through. I think we're going to be in a good position to get ourselves solidly some points here. We're going to be okay with just having the big push. Safety car is out. That's going to change everything for us. And we're going to let Piastri roll his way through. Can we get a set of softs to the end from here? Where are we at? We'll look at Bottas anyway, because Bottas we know can get a set of medium to the end from here quite comfortably. 60 laps. We can get a set of mediums to the end from here. 50 laps. So we'll do that. That'll be fine. It's dodgy, but it'll be fine. We'll do our best with that one. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with Oscar Piastri, because he does have a fresh set of softs. 47 laps. It's not quite going to make it, but he's got nothing to lose. So, okay, we're going to switch to mediums for both drivers. We're going to attack on our way in, save the fuel, save the ERS, just get into the box as fast as we can get into the box is kind of the plan here. I don't know if anyone else is going to come in. Could go either way. We've already done our pitting. Thank you for that, engineers. I'm not sure who had the crash. Magnussen it was that had the crash. We'll have a look, see what happened there. I don't know if anyone ahead of us is going to come in. If they don't come in, they're making a mistake. Let's have a look at the crash and see what happened here. Magnussen coming over the bridge. He hasn't binned it over the bridge. Okay, good stuff. He's binned it coming out of the bridge, which is actually quite easy to do in the F1 game. So I fully sympathise with that. I've done that before now. That braking zone, quite hard to judge at speed when you're in a battle. So I'm going to give him a pass on that one. Right, safety car still coming out now. We are going to see who else is coming in. Is anyone else coming in, or are we going to be the only ones taking it? Hamilton's taking the gamble. Perez stays out. Leclerc stays out. Sainz is coming in. That's interesting. Norris stays out. Russell stays out. Gasly stays out. Verstappen stays out, but he's got some places to make up. I am starting to think, do I maybe cancel Piastri's pit stop? But then it's going to be a massive tyre disadvantage to everyone else. It's not really worth it from the back of the grid. We'll just see what happens. I don't think Albon's going to come in. He has got the gap to come in if he wants to. We've come out pretty much as you were behind Hamilton and Sainz, but it should put us into a podium-esque position for the rest of the race. Let's see what we're saying with Piastri. It looks like Albon has gone through when he had the gap to be double stacked. Seems like an odd decision. I'd have come in for the the double stack there in their position, but you know, what do I know? Alonso also in. Alonso's dropped a long way down the field to be in any kind of situation with Stroll and Show. It's got to be said. But you know, we're into the pits now. Good pit stop, second stop of the race for Piastri, but back on level terms now. I think we're going to be okay for the rest of the race, which is good. He's got the raciest tyres on. I could have left him out. I could have taken all those positions, which didn't feel like it was worthwhile. I mean, realistically, we'd have taken 3 positions, and we'd have been in trouble with cars behind us on faster tyres, which would have been incredibly unhelpful. We need to drop these, as I cycle through everything, we need to drop everything down to conservative. Let's get ourselves caught up, see what happens. I think once we get under green flag running, we're going to be okay, I think, to the end. We'll be fine. ERS fully charged, that's good as Piastri catches up to the back of the train, which should be all it takes to trigger the safety car coming in at the end of this lap. We'll find out as we come through these corners. Safety car in this lap. Okay, good to go. Bottas is in 12th, Piastri in 19th. We'll jump on board with Valtteri because he can see the safety car, and which means I can see the safety car. I can see when that starts to let us go again, which will be very helpful. We've somehow not fully charged Bottas's ERS up, which is a bit of a disadvantage, but we'll have to make the best of that somehow and hope for the absolute best. The safety car will start pulling away as we come out of this corner. It usually does. So we'll cross the safety car line in just a second and we'll be ready to go for the green flag running. Good stuff. Right, let's go to pushing. We're going to go full overtake because we need to make as many overtakes as we can. And again, we're going to go full overtakes for Piastri and see what happens off this restart. Bunching up the cars, Perez. Probably a good choice maybe in the grand scheme of things. We'll see how that goes. But we're on to the mediums now. We are into the final phase of the race. As I said, there should be some advantage to be gained from doing this, getting this early free pit stop over cars ahead. We're sort of in an P3 that could change with the slower cars between us and the leaders. We'll see how that goes. Sonoda having a little look around the outside of us seems a bit cheeky, but Bottas going for the move on Sainz to take what is net P2, we think. Which that will help us out. He's completely dropped Sainz almost immediately, in fact, which is good work. And we're going to stay on the back of Lewis, or just take Lewis. We are just going to take Lewis. Bottas has said, screw it, I'm not hanging around. Let's just get this done. There's been a crash in Sector 1, apparently. Yellow flags are out. And what is that going to mean for the race? Yellow flags are out. Are we going to a safety car? We're not, we're just staying yellow flags. Ricciardo had a crash in turn 11. Mad that turn 11 is Sector 1. It's exactly the same thing. So just very close to picking up some passengers in that crash, wasn't he? Very, very close to picking up some passengers. But Valtteri Bottas takes another free position. Piastri gets a free position out of that as well, which is going to be very helpful. The more free positions we pick up for Piastri between here and the end, the better I'm going to feel about this race. It's got to be said, I'm going to keep thinking I should have let him stay out on the hards and picked up those extra free positions and just kind of gone with the flow here, but felt like a thing I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I think we're going to have to, if we get another safety car, I think I'll leave him out and see what he can pick up position-wise. We'll go double speed because Bottas has got to be feeling like he can get a move done on Hamilton somewhere very nearby. As soon as DRS becomes available, I have a feeling he will get a move done. Lewis is too busy defending to focus on the prize, which is trying to get past Sebastian Vettel. I don't really want us to be overtaking Hamilton right now. I want us to be overtaking Vettel. I want us to be eyes forward, and I'd rather follow him through. But if he insists on getting into a silly battle, it's very close battle with Bottas, it's got to be said that was very close to disaster. We're going to go back to neutral because we have no choice. Piastri also going to go back to neutral just to keep things calm. Yeah, I don't know why he dropped back from Vettel to battle Bottas. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Has Hamilton got onto a set of hards? He has. That's mad. Why would you want a set of hards? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's crazy thoughts. Crazy thoughts for the 7-time world champion. because these tyres will make it to the end, despite what my graph is saying. DRS enabled. I'm going to zoom forward a little bit just because I have a feeling we're going to hopefully get lucky here with the DRS pass on Lewis. We should have the traction with the softer compound of tyre, just whether Valtteri feels like making the pass there, wants to kind of keep it going for another couple of laps, see how the world shakes out for him. Piastri is looking for overtakes on Lance Stroll as well, but this is the real action because this is, as I said, for the net lead, because none of the cars ahead of us have pit yet. They all do need to come in for fresh tyres. I think maybe Vettel's getting dropping Hamilton because he's on soft tyres that are fairly fresh while Hamilton's on fresh hards, which is a huge mistake. I can't believe you'd made that mistake if you were Lewis. But, DRS open again. Let's have another go, Valtteri. This is a long DRS straight. We should have some advantage here. Can we get it done at the inside? Having a look. Need the traction on the way out. We're not going to quite get there because Hamilton had a slightly better line through the corner. And we're just going to keep it up, keep on the trying. Let's double speed this because otherwise this is going to be the longest race of all time again. And we don't want that. Right, another DRS zone coming up. Come on, Valtteri. This is your time to shine, my friend. Let's get this done. Onto the back of Lewis. DRS. Keep it going. Everyone's coming for the pits except for Leclerc, Verstappen, and Mick Schumacher. They've come in much earlier than they needed to. That's a very bold gamble as we're going for another look at a pass on Lewis. Don't think we're going to go for it this time. We will go for it eventually, I'm sure. Very bold. Leclerc and Mick Schumacher could be in a really good position here. It's got to be said. And if we can pass Lewis, we'll be in an excellent position because we should leave Hamilton and Sainz well behind very quickly. DRS open again. Come on, this is the pass. Valtteri's done it up the inside and we're free and clear. And we should be able to start pulling away from Lewis now and really, really start impressing as we come into the third sector of the Grand Prix. Bottas, great overtake. Leclerc and Verstappen, and Mick Schumacher is going to take the lead in a Formula One race. He will be registered as the leader of the race. We're coming through very fast to try and overtake him as well. We are right behind him and rapidly catching. Of course, Hamilton and Sainz are staying in DRS range. As soon as we get in DRS range of Schumacher, though, I think this is probably all over. And if we pass Schumacher, I say if, it's probably when we pass Schumacher. I mean, I don't know if the AI are going to pass each other quite as well as our drivers seem to be sidling through the field. And we are very close to getting within DRS range right now as Hamilton closes up to us. We're in DRS of Mick, so we're looking very strong now, looking very, very strong for a podium and definitely strong for a win. Mick will probably come in at the end of this lap, maybe. He is coming in. Bottas takes over the lead, and Hamilton is a full second behind us, or was a full second behind us for a moment there. We are just pulling away now. We should be able to kind of disappear into the distance a little bit. Piastri up into 6th as the pit cycles have gone through. Albon up into 7th. Great drive for Alex Albon. And indeed for Guan Yu Zhou to be up in 9th. Those guys can't have pit yet, surely. They have. Albon hasn't. Guan Yu Zhou doing very, very well on the verge of points. We're about to drop Lewis Hamilton, and this should be where we start disappearing into the distance because Sainz and Hamilton are going to fight to the end, and we're loving how mixed up this timing tree is. Bottas, Hamilton, Sainz, no surprises there, I guess. Then Tsunoda, Alonso, Piastri, Albon, Stroll, and Zhou. Then the next Ferrari is in 10th, Verstappen's in 11th, Perez all the way down in 13th, Russell in 12th. Some big hitters very far down the grid who are desperately going to be hoping for a safety car just to get themselves to the end here. We're going to get jump on board with Oscar Piastri because he's got an actual battle on with Fernando Alonso. He's pulled up very close to Fernando Alonso, who's on the hard tyres. Should be able to pass him with a Sector 1 yellow flag, but it's not going to affect the overtake there because we weren't in Sector 1. And we've passed Alonso. Schumacher ran wide. So those new tyres not working out terribly well for him, it's got to be said. Must have run wide coming out the pits as well, which is a little bit embarrassing. And now Piastri on the back of Tsunoda and should start chasing down Lewis fairly quickly because Lewis and Sainz are only going to hold each other up, battling for second place. They're going to drop themselves off of Bottas. Piastri could get himself in a position to fight them, maybe overtake them, and then be in a really good place to be a rear gunner, which would be pretty strong. That'd be a pretty strong finish. Going to wait for the overtake to happen on Tsunoda before we go to super quick mode because It is just a matter of time. In fact, we are going to give him the overtake if he needs it. He will need it, I think. Let's go for that. Good stuff. Right, let's go neutral for now. Let's not overcook it because we'll drop Tsunoda fairly quickly in the Haas. And we are catching Hamilton, so we're doing very, very well. We are having one of the best races we've had all season. Singapore again, but we've come alive as a team. But, you know, I don't mind us owning a single track. That's not a problem. We'll go to zoom time because Bottas is dropping Sainz and Piastri is reeling in Hamilton. We are looking very, very, very strong in this race. We're looking very good, and I do think could be a 1-2 if we can stay out the walls. There could be a 1-2 to be had. Bottas is on the verge of dropping into fuel negative, which is a bit of a problem, but we'll keep an eye on that as well because we're sort of trying to build a pit stop before we start worrying about fuel. I say build a pit stop, build a safety car pit stop, I guess is more what we're talking about. Let's drop Bottas onto a balanced, go back to on board with Piastri because he should be able to see his rivals, and he can. Great stuff for Piastri. He won't be far from catching up, you'd have to think, with his rivals. And Tsunoda is fully dropped now. So Piastri, great middle section of this Grand Prix. Another safety car right now would almost guarantee us the win and possibly a podium. We'll see how that goes. Can we get Piastri with a good push of deployment onto the back of Sainz? Let's do that. That will help us a little bit if we can do that. Get ourselves into a sniff of DRS. That would be great. Let's drop ourselves back down to neutral because it won't be long before we get into DRS with that battle going on ahead of us. And at that point, we are okay to maybe make some more overtakes and use Piastri to help Bottas out a little bit. That would be ideal. And to be honest, Piastri gets past Sainz and Hamilton. I don't think it's out of the question that we could leave Hamilton behind with both our drivers and really just secure the 1-2. Safety car, as I said, would help us immensely here because we're marginal at best on the tyres. I think is safe to say. Let's have a little look. I think we are marginal on the tyres. But let's have a look on the strategy view because that way I can adjust what we're doing in terms of race pace. It is marginal. it is marginal. The hards may have been a better decision for the guys who went on the hards. It has to be said, but a safety car right now, bringing our drivers for a set of softs to the end. I think we're okay. I think we'd be fine, or even a set of mediums. I think we'd be fine to really get things underway as Piastri stays within DRS, rear wing open. He'll start pulling up onto Carlos Sainz, hopefully. More importantly, leaves an even bigger gap to Tsunoda for a safety car, which is the window we're really looking for. Piastri's again dropped out of the DRS window. So we're going to have to again do the work, get ourselves caught up. Hamilton and Sainz are having a proper scrap ahead of us. We've got a really good box seat for this scrap. Sainz is not making any inroads into Bottas, which is going to help us out as well. And as I said, it just takes one safety car for us to secure this for Bottas because we'll stick him on a set of tyres that will definitely go to the end and safely go to the end. And I think we'll be ready to call it a day for this race. I think we'll be good. Right, we're going to drop Piastri down to balance because he is now within DRS range. Should stay within DRS range. Leclerc has made his way past Tsunoda and we'll start catching Perez. So it's important we do stay in DRS because that's going to pull us away from Leclerc, who is absolutely flying right now. What tyre is Leclerc on? He's got a set of fresh mediums on, so he's definitely onto something in terms of trying to catch us. We're just hoping we can get pulled away by Hamilton and Sainz at this point. Maybe overtake them would be the ideal. I'd like to think we're faster than them over a single lap. We're probably faster than them at the moment. We're just holding station a little bit because of the battle ahead of us, using the DRS to our advantage as best we can just to stay ahead. Leclerc catching is not helping us at all. A safety car right now would be amazing. It would be manna from heaven because that window is closing. The safety car gap behind us to Leclerc is closing rapidly while Bottas is starting to drop everyone. So it's doing okay in that respect. The battle continues ahead. Hamilton forcing his way past Carlos Sainz. We're looking very, very good here. DRS open. Can we join this fight and really make it a three-way battle? Get ourselves past Lewis. Lewis must be sick of seeing Williams is around him at this point, because we are making his race not at all as fun as it should be for him. We're looking good. We're gaining. Sainz is on hard as well, so we've got to make this overtake fairly soon, otherwise the crossover in Delta will be too much. I think Piastri's just had to pull out of an overtake, which has not helped him tremendously, but he's got back into the fight for the DRS, and we're going to hopefully start closing up again over the start-finish line. Really start making an impact is what we're looking for. Bottas is not having to push terribly hard at this point, which is good. Sainz starting to catch Bottas maybe a little bit, but not too much, so we should still stay okay. And another DRS chance here. Let's get ourselves fully in the back of Hamilton if we can, please. That would be the ideal. Battle continues. Hamilton overtaking Sainz. Like I said, the more these guys fight, the more we stay with them. Leclerc is catching us, but he's not catching us super quickly, it's got to be said. So we do still have opportunities to make good on something here. I think we're going to go to the quick zoom and just kind of see if Piastri makes a lunge. He's sort of losing touch with the guys ahead of him. Only a tiny bit, but he's losing touch a little bit with them. Not really what we were looking for, but he's starting to save up some ERS, so we could be okay. A safety car would be very helpful here. I think we're going to go for a big push on the fuel and just try and get Piastri caught back up as much as we can. We can afford to lose about a kilo of fuel and probably get it back if we get a safety car. We're probably not going to try and get that far down because that would be a small amount of suicide. But in theory, it's a possibility. So that's what we'll try and manage as best we can. We just need to get him in that fight and we'll be okay. But because we dropped out of the train, Verstappen and Leclerc are starting to catch us up, and that's not going to help us at all. And Piastri needs a safety car very badly here to be in with a chance of a podium. And there is a chance of a podium, he just needs the safety car quite badly. I'm just having a think, where will we drop back in if I came in for a set of softs to the end now? Let's ask the window. We're there. It says we come in 9th. I don't think we would. I don't think it'd hurt us if we did. It's tempting. Let's have a little think about it. So, it says we dropped out in 9th, so we're looking at a 20-something second gap. Okay, I think we're going to have to drop down up to balanced anyway, so that's not going to be a factor. Let's go for it. Let's go for an attack on these tyres, just to see if we can start getting some headway, build a bigger gap to the cars behind us. It's particularly Perez we're looking to build the gap to, it's got to be said. And we'll see how that looks in terms of getting us to the end. I think I'm very, very sure I've maybe overcooked the fuel on Piastri a bit, and Verstappen is very much involved in that fight. But is anyone else catching up to us? That's the real question. If no one else is catching up to us, let's see what the pit window is saying at this stage. Coming in would still bring us out in 9th. It's close. I really would like a safety car right now. That would do me very nicely. As Tsunoda comes in, that's going to help us out a little bit, I think. Verstappen and Piastri back to battle like last time out. That's going to be interesting. Leclerc having a look. I do think it's going to have to be a case of trying to pull Piastri in fairly soon. We are going to have to pull him in fairly soon, otherwise we'll be in trouble. Let's see where we are in terms of the window. Are we losing places? We're not losing places yet. So let's just do it. Let's just risk it. We've got nothing to massively lose here. I do think we've got the pace to make that happen, so we're going to box Piastri for what I think is the 3rd time this race. It will be the 3rd time this race, but set us off to the end. We'll get a big push on. Shouldn't take him long to side his way through the field. You think safety car will bring some people in for softs, and Piastri will be sort of on it anyway, so he'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. I think we're going to be fine if we box this lap, because Bottas is going to go to the end unless there's a safety car, at which point he'll be safely in. Oh my boy. Okay. Safety car at exactly the right time for Valtteri Bottas. We're going to get him on a set of the best softs we can handle. It's going to be those ones. Alright, magic. Oscar Piastri might just have picked up a bunch of positions here for very little outlay. That's what we like to see. Okay, we're going to save as much fuel for Bottas and DRS as we can. Coming around to the pit lane, we're going to keep him. In fact, we'll tell Bottas to push his tyres, because I'll put that down to standard just so I can get a read of the fuel. We're going to tell him to push his tyres coming in, because the faster he gets around the pit lane, the better. Verstappen and Leclerc are coming in as well. Sainz and Hamilton not coming in could be a mistake, because Bottas will have enough gap to come in and get himself back out and get himself onto a set of softer tyres. Because Bottas is pushing, he's actually increasing the gap to Hamilton and Sainz, who are driving to the Delta, which is going to help us as well. Really good pit stop here for Piastri, could make all the difference. Verstappen goes past, Leclerc has passed us, Perez has stayed behind us though, so has George Russell. We're still out in 6th. That's okay, that's fine. We're going to be fine with that. Let's channel Bottas in, get him in as fast as we can. That's going to be I know this doesn't actually speed him up, I'm not stupid. But we'll try and force him in and see what happens. This is going to be good actually for us to see how these tyres react to being told to push. I can get a good delta on that. I can see Hamilton is not coming in, Sainz is not coming in. They must feel very confident on their half to the end. I think Bottas is going to absolutely abandon them. They're going to take the net lead off the back of the safety car, but I think it will take no time at all for Bottas to pass them again, and he'll absolutely dust them. I think we can say that with absolute certainty. He's going to dust them. Let's see, these tyres, if we had to push them hard to the end, would get there. That was the information I was hoping for. Let's get everyone stacked up behind the safety car and see if we can get a good clean restart. It was Norris, by the way, I think, who brought out the safety car. So that's the information we were looking for there. Let's get everyone stacked up behind the safety. It's taking Albon forever to catch up. Safety car's in this lap, but I don't think Albon will actually be anywhere near the queue by the time it comes in. We're going to stay on board though, because as soon as we can get a Bottas a little bit of a jump, we're going to get Bottas a little bit of a jump. And I think we'll be okay for this one. Hopefully we'll be okay for this one. Grab a little drink before we carry on the end of race commentary, because I was starting to dry out a little bit. That's how I know it's been a long one. We've got Piastri back into a good fuel position as well, so that's good. We've sort of saved our race a little bit, I feel like. That's going to be good. Safety car about to peel off now, so as soon as it makes that dive, we're going for it. Right, full attack. We're going to go full balanced on the fuel. Let's not go full push, because he doesn't have enough to do that. Bottas we know can attack, so he's going to go for it. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Let's wait for the safety car to peel in, cross the line, Hamilton and Sainz between us and the win. Verstappen having a little look. Bit of a weird place to have a little look, because Lewis is going to push very, very late on this one. Very late on the push, this one. Why? It's because of the short run into turn 1, but we're going to take Sainz almost immediately, it looks like. Got him straight away. Hamilton blocking us off a little bit. That's not going to help. Piastri takes Leclerc behind us. That's good action that we're missing, because we're in the chase for the lead. But that's inevitable as well, I think, at this stage in the race. We're going to pass Hamilton now, hopefully. We should have the power to make this work. Get the overtake button down, Valtteri, and you should be past Lewis and away. And we're going to do it at the inside here. We've done it. We've got ourselves away free and clear. Let's go deploy, because we know Verstappen is closing and he does have soft tyres like we do. So we need to push ourselves away as fast as we possibly can to make that work. Piastri, we're going to jump on board with him, try and help him out a little bit. Because Bottas, let's look at the overtake for the lead from the off-board camera. Good stuff up the inside. and we have gone, and Verstappen is coming through very hot on his soft tyres as well. It could be Bottas and Verstappen to the end of this one. I mean, it may have hurt us a little bit. We're really hoping Hamilton just does a good job of defending against Verstappen, and that Piastri gets himself past Carlos Sainz. We're in a Ferrari sandwich, but Piastri's gone for it up into fourth, and Verstappen going for the overtake on Hamilton, who should be a sitting duck because he's on those hard tyres. Hamilton through into the podium places. Piastri overtaking Sainz and probably about to take Lewis as well. Job done. Fast lap of the race for Valtteri Bottas. That's a good sign. We need that to keep happening. Piastri has pushed his way through as well, and we're going to do our best to do a deploy here, get ourselves onto the back of Verstappen and stay there, because we are going to need that. Bottas, we're going to keep trying to push away as best we can. I think that's the plan here. Keep trying to push away. We've got Piastri now on the back of Verstappen, so we'll drop down to neutral for a little bit, just to make sure we're not overcooking, because that's going to be a problem. No overtake left for Valtteri, so we'll drop him onto a neutral, because otherwise Verstappen will start catching. I think Verstappen will start catching anyway, but we're hoping Piastri can get him engaged in enough of a fight that they start dropping back a little bit, or that he starts dropping back a little bit. Hopefully Piastri will pass him and just disappear. Would be my end goal. I'm not going to lie, that's my end goal, but we should get DRS back over the line here. DRS enable, good stuff. That means we'll be in a good position to drop Hamilton, secure the podium, and then it's just about trying to get past Max Verstappen. Oscar Piastri not going to win this race, it's got to be said, but 2 consecutive podiums in Singapore, maybe a favourite track for the Aussie. Who knows? The new Aussie king of F1, the man who replaced the Honey Badger, he's doing okay so far. I say he replaced the Honey Badger only in real life, because we still do have the Honey Badger on the grid, and I have thought about bringing him in to have a Honey Badger Bottas combination. Maybe we could get some serious results if we did that, but let's talk about that while Piastri is on the way to a podium, because A, we don't want to jinx it, and B, we don't want to crash, which is something he's very good at. He is staying on the back of Verstappen, keeping him very, very honest. That's what we're looking for. Bottas still pushing away. That's something we're also looking for. So, good time all round. I said I was going to jinx it. Piastri running wide. Luckily in the best place on the track to run wide. So, not a big loss. But, even so, bit silly. Bit of a silly boy was Oscar Piastri then. Hopefully that's his last mistake of the race. Got a bit excited looking at the back of Verstappen, I guess, and looking at the back of him again. He'll be fine, went straight into trying for an overtake, so he has got a touch of the Honey Badgers about, hasn't he? A little bit of a touch of the Honey Badgers, because that's exactly what Danny Rick were in. Kept it on the track, goes straight in for a late braking attempt on Verstappen. We're doing okay. Bottas, fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well, is in the books, which is good. We're pretty standardly good now. We're just going to kind of keep an eye out through the DRS zones for that inevitable pass. I say inevitable. It's a hopeful inevitable, I'm saying it. But DRS open, and we'll stay on the back of Verstappen, hopefully. Keep ourselves in a good position. We'll be okay. Verstappen's getting dropped by Bottas. The gap almost 5 seconds now. Should go into the 5-second range fairly soon, because Verstappen is having to defend from Piastri, who does want this position quite badly. Verstappen has kicked it up a gear, actually. He's trying to chase down, he's starting to chase down Bottas purely because he's trying to keep Piastri behind. Fully understand how that happens, but hopefully it will all be quite fruitless. There are only about 8 laps to go, so we're doing okay on this one. Definitely, I think, a win in the bag, and maybe a second place to come if we get very, very lucky. I'm very aware of what's going on in terms of Bottas's fuel. Piastri does have some fuel saved up as well. That will help. Let's keep going to the zooms, because that's going to help us all out a lot. Bottas now needs to go to a balanced fuel setting. We'll give Verstappen a chance to close him. I don't think Verstappen's going to make 5 seconds up in 6 laps. That seems very unlikely. So we should be okay. Let's have a look, see how those tyres are doing. Those tyres are doing okay. I think we could probably drop to an aggressive just to conserve them a little bit, be on the safe side, bring the temps down on the tyres. We're going to give Piastri a little bit more push, because I do think there is a place coming where he's going to make the overtake. In fact, let's just hold off for a second. let's pull the trigger at the right time. You need to pull the trigger at the right time, coming around the start-finish straight. And I think maybe we can get a pass done. Or certainly get ourselves close enough that we're really, really fighting out of every point, out of every DRS zone, into the corners after every DRS zone. Like, push now. Let's see what we can do. Get ourselves through the fastest section of the circuit with as much fuel as possible, as much tyre as possible going into this one. DRS open. We're really going for it now, trying to get ourselves onto the back of Max. And we're doing okay. There will be a closing speed graphic on in real life for Verstappen and Bottas at this point. I don't think Verstappen and Bottas is going to become a battle we have to worry about, but it's not out of the realms of possibility, I guess. Let's see what the tyres look like. I don't think so. I think Bottas has got... Actually, maybe. Could be close. It could be close come race end. There is part of me saying maybe drop Bottas down and conserve the tyres a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. Get him to the end of the race, and we've got some tyres left to fight with should we need to at the end. That would be the ideal. And meanwhile, Piastri doing his thing. DRS not on this straight. Is it the next straight? I think there's DRS on the next one. And that would be a good time for us to get our overtake on, wouldn't it? That would be a good time for us to get things moving. Let's go for the overtake here. DRS open. Give him everything he's got. Get ourselves as close to as we possibly can coming out of this corner. Is he going to go for it? Not quite. We'll drop down to a neutral. And we'll try again next lap. That's our plan. Try again next lap. I still feel like the overtake could come. I know Verstappen is catching. Last lap. Let's see what the times were like. Verstappen just under a second a lap faster than Bottas at the moment. So it's close. There could be a closing happening. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong about a thing. Let's see how this goes. Let's just keep zooming forward. Looks like Verstappen's dropping Piastri and closing on Bottas. That's not what I wanted to see, because that is a less than a 1 second gap. 4 laps to go, and Bottas needs something special to happen here. We do have 4 laps to go. We've got to go attack. We've got to keep rattling in the lap times, to be honest. That's what we need to be doing, is just keep rattling in the lap times. Just to try and keep Verstappen behind us above all else, because Verstappen, if he gets even the slightest look at an overtake, will take it. He does still have a faster car than us. So it's all going to be about Bottas's defensive skills, which we know are fairly good from real life. Bottas's defensive skills, do they outmatch Verstappen's attacking skills? That's the big question of the day here. The longer Bottas keeps Verstappen behind him, the more chance Piastri has to catch up. So that's also a thing to keep an eye on here. It could be very close. It could be very, very close here. And we're looking at a very close finish, I think is what we're trying to say. Verstappen in the battle will go off board. Verstappen having a little look up the inside, doesn't quite get there. Tyres-wise, he's definitely got a lot more tyre to play with, so we are very much just fighting for our lives here. Piastri is trying to pull in Verstappen. We do need this to become a 3-way fight, just so we can give Verstappen a little bit of trouble. I am tempted to tell Bottas to try and back everyone into his teammate, but that does feel like it would be a mistake, because Verstappen will pass if we do that, and that's not really what we're looking for. I mean, even a 2-3, honestly, at this stage would be a great finish for us, but I don't want that to be what we get. I would like Bottas to be able to hold on. He's held on through the start-finish straight DRS zone. Verstappen getting very, very close there. We are very much in this battle, and Piastri is not closing up, and that's something we need to be happening pretty quickly. Let's just get as much deploy going as we can. He's going for the overtake now, but he's not going to make it work, is he? Having a look at the inside, and I think Verstappen's going to take the lead from us. Bottas has a go around the outside, doesn't quite get there. This would be a good time for us to drop Bottas into a bit of a harvest. Would it? Probably not. Let's give him some more fuel. Let's screw it. Give him some more fuel. Get on board. See what we can do here. We are very much in the race here for the win, but Verstappen, much better off on tyres. It's going to come right down to the wire, this one, and you've got to say, It's been a hell of a battle. Verstappen has come all the way through the field here, and I can't help feeling a little bit if I'd put Piastri on, if I kept Piastri on the hard strategy until that last safety car, probably would have been in a good position to take the win here. But you know, that's you cannot change the past. Hindsight is 2020, and all those other cliches and other such nonsense. Right, Piastri is getting at least closer to the battle, though. That's going to be key. Piastri and Bottas are probably going to fight to the end, and hopefully one of them will decide to catch up to Verstappen as we get towards the end of the Grand Prix. I think Verstappen's just gone now. I think Max is just doing Max things. But a 2-3 double podium, pretty good outcome for us. As Bottas goes wide, it'll bring Piastri back into things. Drivers making mistakes a little bit towards the end. It's not really the way. In fact, I think now that we're going to have lost Verstappen entirely. Now I think the race is pretty much over because Verstappen's gone. We're going to drop everyone down to a neutral. Just keep it nice and sensible. Just say to them, guys, just get to the end. Don't be stupid. We'll be fine as we go on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. And unless Verstappen makes a mistake right now, he's going to win the Grand Prix. And we just want to keep Bottas and Piastri nicely spaced, keep them apart, not worry too much. Just bring it home for the double podium. We're going to cross the line here. Bottas doing very well to get himself a second place finish. It's a shame the win wasn't quite on, but sometimes that's life. And Bottas and Piastri are 2-3. Very, very good job for the team. Bottas 2 podiums in 2 races. Piastri does well in Singapore again. Leclerc, managed to keep him well behind. We've probably picked up a lot of points on Mercedes looking at that, because Mercedes only picked up, I want to say, 5 points from this race compared to the 14 we've got, so we could have closed that gap a little bit up ahead of us. Good stuff all around, and it's a good win for us. Let's get to the final tally, shall we?
What a phenomenal job Valtteri Bottas did today. Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
Not bad at all. The team in the pit will be happy with that.
And after this result, the team is 4th in the constructor standings.
Next round will see us head east as F1 prepares for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll see you at Suzuka, a firm favourite for the drivers.
It's got to be said, I'm very much looking forward to Suzuka. I do enjoy a trip to Japan on any racing game because Suzuka is one of the greatest circuits in the world. Piastri has to take driver of the day up 17 places. Bottas up 3, Verstappen up 10, so good all-round performances. In the Drivers' Championship, Bottas again makes a big jump up the standings to move into 8th place in the Drivers, thoroughly proving it was worth me signing him in all respects, and drops Fernando Alonso back behind him. In the Constructors' Championship, we've gained 10 whole points over Mercedes, we've gained 12 points over Alpine, so we should have secured 4th in the Drivers, I think, in the Constructors, which is a very good finish all round. I believe that has also achieved our goal for the season. There's a development point going to both drivers there. Schumacher got to run out in P1 as well. So hopefully good stuff has been achieved. We've got some money in the bank. That's going to help us out a little bit as we get towards the needing to do research phase of the season, which is coming very rapidly. Let's see what we can drop those development points. I know with Piastri it's going to be on smoothness. We need to get his tyre management skills back up a little bit better, just to give him a fighting chance of doing something. So we'll do that. Smoothness should be good. Get him up. Let's have a look at Valtteri Bottas. How do you improve a driver like Valtteri Bottas? I think I want to go into defending with Valtteri. I think that's probably a good shout. David Schumacher also gets a point boost. I think we're going to sit on braking so he doesn't, brake. David Schumacher gets an overall rating increase. I don't think we're ever going to get him up to being a Formula 1 quality driver. We've also got unused points on all of our tech staff. Good stuff. Side pods, that's going into. That's a nice, easy decision. This one you're going to go into cooling, Roberta. I think that's probably a idea. Alex doesn't get one. Matthias Spini does, and he's going to get a feedback because I do need him to be able to get his thing going. I haven't had a look at the pit crew all season, by the way. We're not improving fast at our pit stops, but we're doing just about okay. That's fine. A couple of million quid in the bank, that should be good. Do we need to get any facilities refurbed? I'm feeling we need to do with our weather centre. There's a voice in my head saying the weather centre needs work done on it. We are doing the work on it, that's good. The refurb is currently happening. Hospitality areas being upgraded. Not worried about the scouting department, the wind tunnel. I refurbed it if I have the cash, but we're not quite there yet, and we do need to be there fairly soon. That'll be fine. Right, see what's in the inbox before we wrap the episode up. We're exceeding expectations. I need to actually have a look at the board to see what they are saying about our goals. I think we've achieved our goals for the year. We have score points in 50% of this season's races. Achieved. We've done that. We are a points contender. We're on target. Finances, they're disappointing because I keep dipping into debt, but you know, I think they'll get over it because we've only had a couple of races that have disappointed them, and they disappointed me so much that I fired a driver. So I think we're okay. I think we're doing okay. Budget-wise, we are fine for the budget. I think. Let's look at our team rating. We've not looked at that. We're now back to being an established team. Good stuff. Drivers' results we haven't had any points for just yet, but we'll get some this season for sure. We get some heritage points, which is always a good thing. So we're okay for that. Finances wise, I haven't looked at the cost cap all season. We are okay. We've got 32 million left that we can spend, which is probably going to help a lot. Honestly, probably going to help a lot because we're going to need to spend more money towards the end of the season. Right, next time out then, we are going to Suzuka. Let's have a look at the Suzuka car analysis so we can get a bit of a taste of where we're going to be for that. Suzuka, I'm going to say podium. I'm going to say podium for sure. That's my prediction. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I have, as always, been Chasing Lamely. Do leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave comments. Everything you do with that in that regard helps the channel out, helps the series out, helps more people to find it, and it's all greatly appreciated by me. I will see you all for the Japanese Grand Prix fairly soon, because I'm getting these episodes out quite rapidly at the minute. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a good one.